Today's episode is all about that bass, and the treble, and well, anything else that comes with radio stations. So, you've experienced Fallout 4, the vanilla game, and now you want to know what it can be like modded. Welcome to Fallout 4 Mod Elation. Have fun. And up first we have more Where That Came From, the Diamond City Radio Edition. Now this follows on in the footsteps of GNR's More Where That Came From, and Radio New Vegas and the Mojave Edition, More Where They Came From. So, with that in mind, what do you get? Well, you get 111 new songs that fit the style and theme of Diamond City Radio. Don't worry, you're not going to have music that completely opposite polar effect. It all fits in, it's nice and seamless. There's a few tracks and a few different things for you to listen to, as you can hear in the background, a little bit of a sample. However, what I will say is this: if you love Dion's The Wanderer, but you don't love it enough to hear it 9,000 times, definitely get something like this installed and enjoy the variety that is the spice of life. Now, do you want to roleplay a soldier? A soldier who patriotically wants to kill all the commies, and that inconvenience of being frozen for 200 years hasn't really dulled that desire? Well, luckily you have your own patriotic radio station to keep the blood flowing, keep you marching across the Boston wastelands looking for any commies who may have survived 200 years in ghoul form and putting a bullet in their head. It is Radio America. Now, as you can hear, I've sampled about 3 or 4 tracks from this, but they all have this level of quality. I don't fully recognise every single tune because I'm not American, but I do like a good ditty, and I cannot complain at the quality. Great. And lastly, we have Old World Radio, Boston. Now, this is a radio station. Now, I say the word station. This is radio stations. This is a radio mod that ranges from the sublime to the ridiculous to the mysterious and everything in between. Now, as you can see at the beginning, there's Agatha, there's GNR, and there's quite a few,
you're listening to GNR,
shall we say, law-friendly, interesting, varied musical stations, as you can hear. GNR has a radio host that reminds me of Morgan Freeman, and the actress who does Agatha does a good job.
Reminds me of my time on the West Coast.
And as you can hear, even Shoddycast's storyteller gets in on the act with his own radio station. Once you've finished enjoying the tunes that vary from New Vegas style inspired radio stations, as you can hear, all the way over to the East Coast, the West Coast, you name it, there's a lot of variety in this. This is a very much a variety is the spice of life type radio mod. Now, I'd say at least 3/4, 2/3 of the mod is music stations, but you do have information stations like the Civil Defence, that is back. There's also 0 Hour, that sort of thing. Stations that have a lot of adverts, old-fashioned adverts in between talking and a few songs. Some stations that are just pure craziness. You also get the unique ones. You know how law-friendly you call these, this depends on your interpretation. There's some French-inspired stations, the Russian one you just heard. There's some sort of like heavy metal and rock and weirdness and madness that you think, well, that doesn't really fit the Fallout universe. And that is entirely up to you. But if you want the variety, you're going to need to install this mod. Trust me, there is something in here for everybody. Now, this synthetic one, I like the whole synth stream. In the Fallout universe, the synths are responsible for the 80s synthesizer music. Yeah, I find that quite amusing. So moving on from the more existential, more out of this world, how do you fit it into the lore, you get the chat radio stations, and then eventually you move on to the 4 or 5 stations, I think it's about 4, all dedicated to radio series, dramas, radio dramas, the old-fashioned radio dramas. Keep listening, listen to the story and follow it. Yes, like the sealed book.
The sealed book, written by Bob Arthur and David Cogan, is produced and directed by Jock McGregor.
Yeah, so there's a couple of stations in it. The word circle, it almost reminds me as if it's it almost feels like it's Nick doing this radio show, but I can't see it being Nick Valentine, can you? However, there's virtually something for everybody, and I've said that before and I'll say it again because it needs to be said. This is one of those stations, one of those radio station mods where you're going to need to download it just for experiencing it once, because going across the wasteland with so much variety makes every journey you make all the more different. So whether you're shooting and running across the wasteland or just sitting down and relaxing for the night, you want a mod like this. And so we must bid farewell. If you're wondering what other mods I've covered, you can find these by clicking the links for the playlist at the end of each mod Elation video. There you will find the mod categories. However, if the mod you're looking for isn't there, by all means suggest mods for me to review. So until we meet again, until we see each other on another of my videos, have fun, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye for now.